88 points are the most in the toughest conference in the NHL, and they're getting better. The Florida Panthers are the number one team in the NHL. Number two, the Colorado Avalanche. They're the most talented team in the NHL. Anybody would tell you that. Their 91 points are the best in the league. Colorado's number two. Number three, the Carolina Hurricanes. They're yelling at us from the crowd. Yep. I don't have Calgary in it. I'm sorry. Carolina, best winning percentage in the tough Eastern Conference, number three. Number four, the Tampa Bay Lightning, two-time defending Cup champs, will always be in the top five no matter what. And number five, the New York Rangers. I'm sorry, I just got to say it. Officially, the Stanley Cup dark horse. Officially. Is he yelling at me or is he yelling at the server? Anyways, let's go to the bottom five. Number 28, the Chicago Blackhawks. All eyes are on what you're going to do with the Flower. First big move for the new GM, Kyle Davidson. Number 29, the Ottawa Senators. 3 losses in a row, 8 losses in their past 10. Where's the progress? Number 30, the Arizona Coyotes. They're no longer last in the West. Winners of 7 in their last 10. Have you not heard of the term tanking? What are you doing?
I know.
Just supposed to win. Number 31, the Seattle Kraken. They are who we thought they were. And number 32, the Montreal Canadiens. Still the NHL's worst team. Very sad story.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Brent Sopel checking in from Clearwater, Florida. You must get this a lot. Who is your favorite coach?
Mark Crawford probably would have to be my guy for me. We had a love-hate relationship. We butted heads, but he believed in me all my time in Vancouver. He put me out there, even though I'd screw up, and he put me right back out there. So Mark Crawford definitely is number one for me.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, how about that? How about Mark Crawford? Very big day, everybody. Welcome to a Football Friday. We're coming to you live from the Stage Bar here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. I was saying to the Moose, let's bring in the lovely and talented co-host and boss of the RP Show. I said, there's a vibe in the casino today. There's a palpable buzz. You feel it, right?
Yeah, you do. There really is. It's cool.
I don't know if maybe get this Football Friday. We got a very exciting guest going to join us here down at the Grey Eagle Resort Stage Bar in mere moments in the next segment by the name of Jabari Arthur. Okay, former Calgary Stampeders wide receiver, 2-time Grey Cup champion, 1-time Vanier Cup champion. Had a cup of coffee with the Kansas City Chiefs and a donut, I think. And he's got everybody so buzzing and excited. Brandon's here. What do we owe the pleasure? Good morning, he says. Bon matin, as they say in Quebec. Right? Right? What I say.
Right.
There's a vibe. I feel it. So Jabari Arthur coming up. We're so excited about that. We got a couple guests from Mum So Hard. It's a comedy show coming up here next month here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. A couple guests going to join us on Zoom. And our NFL fantasy expert from Sportsnet, Andy McNamara, as well. So that's what's happening. Are you ready to talk sports?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hit the quick 6 show horn, please, Director Jordan? We're going to open with hockey because it is Canada after all, and then we'll get to some serious NFL talk and a little CFL too. Because that guy roaming around here, I got the sense he was a Flames fan with the Flames hat and the Flames jacket. I got the sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're planning the Stanley Cup parade. It's going to go down Center Street, turn right on 16th Avenue, and then go north on Deerfoot Trail. That's the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
But we're going to start with Edmonton. Connor McDavid, Kyler Yamamoto, and Tyson Barrie each had a goal and a helper as the Oilers beat Buffalo 6-1 for their 4th straight victory. Neon Leon, Darnell Nurse, and Devon Shore also scored for the Oilers, and Mike Smith made 27 saves for his first win since February 17th. Here's my question. What do the Oilers need at the trade deadline? The obvious is a goalie, but as you see, the Florida Panthers Now my number 2 team, no doubt, they're my number 2 team, the Florida Panthers.
Yeah.
They're getting Claude Giroux. You see that report?
Yes.
It looks like it's going to cost them dearly. But as Bobby Vespasiani says, the great former Calgary Stampeders coach, better is better. And they are forming a super team down there in South Florida.
They really are. You know, they're a good hockey team, but they want to make sure the windows are only open for so long. And last year they were really good, but they had to go through Tampa, who was just a little bit better. And the window was so, like the margin was so narrow. And you still couldn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. So you have to do whatever it takes to try and win a cup.
I want to hear from the viewers in the chat. You can text into the show, 902-518-3033. Pick up the phone and text RP. 902-518-3033. Because we're not going to belabor that any longer. I want to hear from the Oiler fans. What do you think the team needs? Goaltending, obvious, but it looks like they're on a roll. This other guy, Oiler fan down here, I don't know if he's still here, said his kid lives in Vegas, and he told him to throw some change down on the Oilers to win the Stanley Cup. And I'm like, dude, a fool and his money are soon parted. But you do you. Eric Jaldren made 34 saves, and the Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Carolina Hurricanes 3-2 for the rookie goalie's second straight victory. I'm just going to fly through these because I know you really want to get to football.
Of course.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
In Vegas, Evgeny Dadonov scored twice. Nick Roy had the winner in the third period. In Vegas, beat Florida 5-3 to snap a 5-game slide. Logan Thompson made 33 saves in net for the Golden Knights. And they're saying, as of SportsCenter, and it's on TSN, it's got to be true, that Robin Lehner might be done for the season. In Columbus, Anthony Mantha scored twice. Alex Ovechkin and Connor Sheary each had a goal and a helper. And Washington beat Columbus 7-2 for their third straight win. In St. Louis, Brian Russ scored the deciding goal in a shootout. Goalie Tristan Jarry made 30 saves. And Pittsburgh beat St. Louis 3-2. In New York, Kyle Palmieri scored the tie-breaking goal with less than 3 minutes to go in the third. And the Islanders beat the Rangers 2-1. In Philly, Kevin Hayes scored the late-tying goal and assisted on Joel Farabee's winner with 1:19 to go. Philly beat Nashville 5-4. It was Claude Giroux's 1,000th game. You want to talk about 11-11 and universe stuff? Because as soon as the game was over, the team went to Ottawa. Giroux wasn't on the flight, which has got everybody saying he's gone, he's done, and probably going to Florida. Again, I'm in favor of it, but they're going to have to pay dearly. If it's Owen Tippett, the member of the famed Tippett hockey-playing family, that's a lot. He's a star.
Yeah, he's a real young, high prospect for the Panthers. They like him a lot. He played minutes in the playoffs last year. He's a good player.
In sports, like in life, if you want to gain something, 100% of the time, you got to give something up. That's what the Florida Panthers are looking at. Just a couple more games. In Montreal, John Klingberg scored late in regulation and overtime to lift Dallas past Montreal 4-3. In Vancouver, Alex Nedeljkovic made 43 saves, and Detroit beat Vancouver 1-0 to end a 6-game slide. And in L.A., Anze Kopitar scored on the power play. Cal Peterson made 29 saves, and the Kings beat San Jose 3-0. When are we going to start talking about the L.A. Kings? Not today. Moving on to point 2. The Las Vegas Raiders are making a blockbuster move to keep up in the AFC West, acquiring all-pro receiver Davante Adams from the Green Bay Packers. The Raiders reportedly sending the number 22 overall pick in this spring's draft and additional compensation to the Packers to reunite Davante Adams with his college quarterback Derek Carr. NFL Network reporting that Adams has agreed to a new 5-year deal with the Raiders that will pay him $141 million in the richest deal ever for a wide receiver. So that's exciting, especially for the Raiders fans. But how about fans of the NFC West, and the entire National Football League, just for what's going on in that division?
Unbelievable.
This was an aggressive move by the new Raiders regime of Coach Josh McDaniels and General Manager Dave Ziegler, and the latest in an AFC West arms race as teams try to catch Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Denver traded for quarterback Russell Wilson, as we know. The Chargers of that division acquired edge rusher Khalil Mack. So Vegas now has potentially the most dynamic offense with Carr pulling the trigger. He's got Davante Adams teaming up with Pro Bowl slot receiver Hunter Renfrow, tight end Darren Waller, and running back Josh Jacobs. And just on Davante Adams, a good poll question might be, who is the best receiver in the National Football League? And there's a case to be made that it's him.
I think it is.
I'll just say, in the last 4 years, he's had the most catches at 432, most yards at 5,310, and 47 touchdown receptions in the 4 years alone.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Can I just inject with my thing, because I'm the host of the show? You gave Aaron $50 million a year. What did you think was going to happen? Aaron, you might want to catch the ball, too, as well as throwing it. You can't. There's not room for everybody. So that's my take on that.
There's not. You got to be cap compliant. And you got to make sure that all the pieces land. And Devontae wants to get paid too. He's in the prime of his career, best receiver in football, and he's in his prime. He wants to be paid. And you know what? Why wouldn't a guy want to go play in Las Vegas too? You talk about the other weapons there. He's gonna get his targets. Carr is a very good quarterback. They love him as a leader. Their defense is respectable. You know, forget the rest of the AFC. They're going to have both wildcard spots are going to come out of the AFC West. Plus whoever wins that division.
Jennifer, watching from the Four Seasons Sports Palace, one of our wonderful sponsors on this show, she says, well, thanks to Aaron Rodgers, and she's a huge Packers fan, thanks to Aaron Rodgers wanting more money, we lost the best wide receiver in the league. I'm beyond angry.
Oh,
see?
no.
This is how it works. I feel this marriage with Aaron Rodgers isn't going to end well.
And he took all the money guaranteed. He'll probably play 1 year and then
see you later. Ooh, no. People talking about baseball signings. Get out of here with the baseball. It's football Friday. And speaking of, Baker Mayfield wants out of Cleveland immediately, but the Browns aren't willing to move him. Baker requested a trade by the Browns Thursday after the team failed in its pursuit of controversial Houston quarterback Deshaun Watson. Mayfield asked to be dealt shortly after the Browns were told by Watson and his representatives that the three-time Pro Bowler wasn't going to waive his no-trade clause to go to Cleveland. He'll waive it for somebody else, but not Cleveland. The team then, in turn, denied Baker's trade request. It's a stunning descent for Mayfield, who just 15 months ago led Cleveland to their first playoff appearance in 20 years and their first postseason win since 1994. The Browns' strong interest in Deshaun Watson angered their starting quarterback, who's coming off a rough 2021 season, as we all know, followed by shoulder surgery in January. The overtures toward one of the NFL's top quarterbacks appears to have ended Baker's tumultuous 4-year run in Cleveland. And he told ESPN, quote, Baker Mayfield, it's in the mutual interest of both parties for us to move on. The relationship is too far gone to mend. It's in the best interest of both sides to move on. Unquote. It's 10-10 Mountain, by the way. That means the Angels are close. Maybe not for Baker Mayfield, though, or the Browns. How do they continue to screw this up? Because you went after Deshaun Watson, you don't get him, and now the guy you got wants out. And can you blame Baker Mayfield? So this centers on our poll question, which we'll get to in a minute. I feel for Baker Mayfield. Your thoughts first, and then I'll give mine.
Yeah, when you know it, when it's over, and you just watched, your significant other shoot their shot with somebody else right in front of you, and it didn't work out, so they come back being like, so how you doing? Having a good night? Right? It's like, yeah, you clearly don't want me. I'm not going to sit here as a consolation prize and show up to work every day in a place I'm not wanted. So why don't I go somewhere where I can engage with the fan base, I have a team that wants me, and I can have real success? I don't blame them.
It's that simple, huh?
Well, for us sitting here on the outside drinking coffee, it is. But it is difficult because there's a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. There's contracts. The team wants to do what's best for the team. But, people have feelings, and that's how we operate.
So this has brought up our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, with dealerships all across the prairies, including here in Calgary, Capital GMC. Which of these three quarterbacks would you want as your starting quarterback? Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, or Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, who looks like he might be on his way out in Atlanta? I'm voting for Baker Mayfield in a walk. Our producer, Clark, he is a Falcons fan. He would probably vote for Matt Ryan. I don't know. I shouldn't speak for him. But here's how I feel about Baker Mayfield. If you call up his football resume, it's Heisman Trophy winner, of course. Started at Texas Tech, finished at Oklahoma. No, remember when he went first overall to Cleveland and knocked everybody off their chair?
Yeah.
Forget about his talent. All these guys that go in the first round, they're all talented. We know that.
That's right.
He's got it in here. And I think he's got it in here. I think he's a good person, Baker Mayfield. He's the kind of guy you win with, unless you're the Cleveland Browns, who botch up everything. I thought it was hilarious when Baker was going through some drama a couple years ago with the Browns. Remember, Johnny Manziel wrote him a letter? Remember that?
Right.
And I was like, Johnny, why don't you take a long walk off a short break? You're not telling anybody anything, Johnny Manziel, because Baker Mayfield is a winner. And you mentioned last night that we were going to get into this and talk about relationships. And I often say, anything that's been done can be undone. Anything that's been created can be recreated. Any relationship can be repaired. And that's the truth. But two sides need to come together to do that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And Baker is done. He doesn't want to come back with the Cleveland Browns, and nobody, I don't think, can blame him.
No. And you just nailed it, right? He has to want to come back for there to be a relationship. And he doesn't want to. And why would he? I get it.
Now, here's what I also don't understand, and that's why people are finally starting to grasp why I love this job way more than the play-by-play job, because I can sit here and give my idiotic opinions and not have to answer to anybody, and I don't get into the insider game. Because I said to Moose, can you please, because he interviews people, he fires people, I don't do that. I sit behind the microphone and talk. That's my job, and then you have yours. You're a boss. How does it get out that they're pursuing Deshaun Watson?
There's a lot of ways that it gets out.
Sorry to interrupt. It's like the Vancouver Canucks when the GM, who will eventually be fired, we all find out that the GM of the Vancouver Canucks has a meeting at 1 p.m. with the owner, Francesca Aquilini. Two people should know that. How does this get reported?
Our human nature is people like to talk. And
really?
No matter where, and no matter what position you're in, it's always cool to tell somebody some cool aspect about your job or about your thing. So there's some admin who has to put that meeting on the books that was like, hey, these two guys are meeting today. The GM's come into my office today. That was kind of cool. I saw him, got to meet him. Not even thinking of that you're leaking the meeting and people are putting A and B together, and then all of a sudden somebody calls the agent. Is there any truth to this, right? And they start working the phones and deciphering a little bit of information. It always gets out. There's always a breadcrumb trail that you don't realize you're leaving behind.
I guess. So I just think tough to do your business in today's world. Tough to keep things a secret in today's world. So a couple other things. I'm very excited to bring in our next guest. He's coming and he's going to stay for the rest of the hour. Jabari Arthur, Stamps great, former chief, and now the OC of the Dinos. The guy just radiates. We've had a lot of people down here. They're the light, and he's that. When I said there's a vibe in here, he's a big part of that.
Yeah,
I'd want to play for him. I can see why the kids do. I could get the Dino helmet right here, Jabs. I don't know if you saw that or not. He's the kind of guy you want to play for.
Oh yeah,
and be around. So, two things. Fans at the Scotiabank Saddledome got their money's worth at the St. Patrick's Day party on Thursday. Jesse King and Zach Harrow-Weyers notched hat tricks, while goalie Christian Del Bianco had 48 saves and 4 assists to lead the Roughnecks to a 14-12 win over the Saskatchewan Rush. We were there. It was a party. There's a lot of fat heads in Calgary this morning. Fans of both teams.
The green beer was flowing last night.
They were into the Devil's juice in the Saddledome last night. Trust me. Hell of a game. But the Rush's season is pretty much done. But they're home Saturday night to the Rochester Nighthawks, and he'll be calling it.
That's right.
And Randy's road trip stop in Regina, what I took out of it, the commissioner of the CFL non-committal on the 4-down story. He's saying officiating will be reviewed and upgraded if possible. And the big news is touchdown Atlantic. We thought we had a scoop this week. I'd heard it earlier in the week. You were with me. We were going to break it on the show today, and then Randy Ambrosi dropped it last night in Regina that the Argos and Riders will meet in Touchdown Atlantic in Halifax, July 16th. I'm not sure that he said Halifax, but I know that it's going to be in Halifax, so that's exciting.
Very exciting.
Moose, we'll see you a little later, I think.
Yeah, next hour.
All right, Jabari Arthur joining us here at the Stage Bar, Grey Eagle, when we return. It's a Football Friday on Game Plus Television. Also live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time.
Big time.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Number 16,
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back with special guest Buck Cherry. Mosaic Place, Sunday, April 10th. Get tickets now at mosaicplace.ca and sasktix.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You are looking live on a beautiful Friday morning at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. We're the gateway to the foothills here, Calgary's entertainment destination. And if you hadn't heard, the master of redneck comedy, Jeff Foxworthy, is coming to the Grey Eagle Event Center Saturday, May 28th. Actor, writer, producer, and former host of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Jeff Foxworthy's hilarious show can't be missed. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.ca. It is a football Friday. The text line's open. The comments have come in about all the NFL moves yesterday, and the YouTube chat is bumping. But I couldn't wait to get this guy, Jabari Arthur, who was with me 20 years with the Rough Riders. You were a bit of a pain in the neck, I'll be honest. You're a tough guy to cover, obviously. But he got here early. He's like, I want to get a good seat. Are you enjoying the show?
Honestly, this is, like you said, there's a great vibe going on right now, and I'm so happy to be here. This is awesome.
We're happy to have you. There's a vibe in the Grey Eagle today. So.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It was awesome coming out here onto the stage a little bit. I felt like I was about to do a little concert here. I was like, all right, let's
That's
do
probably
this.
what the kids think of the draft when they're coming out from behind. That's probably what it felt like, too,
Yeah,
right?
It got to be.
So, mentioned he's with the Kansas City Chiefs in 08 and then on to a wonderful CFL career where you won a couple of Grey Cups, obviously, with the Calgary Stampeders, Blue Bombers, Stamps, but you're original Montreal guy, played at Akron, and you settled here in Calgary, and now you're coaching with the Dinos. I want to start there, because the light in your eyes when you talked about your training this morning and being with the kids, this is your thing.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely. I'm one of the lucky people, that's in this world that can say they absolutely love their job. You know what I mean? I go to work every day with a little bit of excitement, not knowing, what's going to be coming through the doors. But like I said, the kids love their energy. They keep me young. They're eager to learn, and I'm just loving the whole energy that's going on at the University of Calgary right now.
Well, and you won a ring with the Dinos. That must have been special. Talk about that, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's why we get into sports. You love to compete, and it's absolutely awesome saying that, hey, man, we were actually the best in the country at something here. And the 2019 season, just before the whole world shut down, was absolutely awesome. What a great run it was. I don't think I've been around a team that was that close-knit together, and it was absolutely awesome just having the opportunity to, get on the bandwagon with those guys and go win a championship.
I remember watching that game. It was on CBC, and it was a hell of a football game, but you guys were in control throughout, as I recall.
Yeah, I mean? I thought that our game plan was pretty solid, and, we didn't underestimate any of, the opponent. We never underestimated Montreal. You know how it is. You're not intimidated by anybody, and you fear nobody. And we went in there with the intentions to win, and wow, we had some great plays by some of our guys, and the leaders stepped up and did a great job with a bunch of big plays, and it was awesome.
Reason I'm asking about the Dinos Vanier Cup is the guy is so jacked up about coaching the U Sports team, I can tell. But when I mentioned you won a couple of Grey Cups in the CFL and then also this Vanier Cup, compare to me, please, because I don't get to ask this question much to guys, winning a championship as a coach versus winning a championship as a player. How it feels. I would assume it's totally different.
Two completely different things. It's almost,
and why? Yeah.
It's almost apples and oranges. You know what I mean? Obviously, when you're a player, the sacrifices and all that stuff, your body, the wait time and family, all that stuff. And it's great because you train all off season. You know what I mean? It's almost like a little bit of an individual thing. But then when you get on the field with your guys, it's awesome. The coaching experience is a little bit different because now, you're trying to get other guys motivated. So when you were able to get the other guys motivated and see how they react and get their energy, it's completely different. Completely different.
Is it more satisfying in a way, or is that an unfair statement?
Like I said, I think it's a little bit of an unfair statement.
Yeah, I get it.
When you're a kid and you're playing your sports and stuff like that, you're like, yes, you know what I mean? We want to win championships. You want to do the best at at the sport that you fall in love with. For the most part, sometimes coaching, you kind of fall into it. At least in my experience, I kind of fell into it. So, it's a whole different dynamic here. And, I just started thinking about championships as a coach a couple of years ago. But when you're a kid, you think of championships
as a player.
Exactly. As soon as you put on whatever sport you start with.
That's the thing about champions. There's a similarity. They're winners. And the second you walked in this place, I could tell just by your vibe. And Jack Fulton is a mutual friend of ours. You're the reason you're here. And I want to say hey from Jack and to Jack from Life Choice Dynamics. He wanted to say hey this morning to you and pass that along. From the viewers, Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in. He says, good morning, Rod. Clark, you might want to look this up. I'm not sure if we can put these on the show or not. He sent some photos in. A few photos I'd like to share. This is Jabari Arthur's helmet from 2013, which I'm lucky enough to possess. I know he's a guest today, so it seemed appropriate. I don't know if we want to throw that up later or not. And I'm just going to flip quickly to the National Football League. Sean's watching in Vancouver on Game Plus television right now, and he says, happy Football Friday, guys. How about those Raiders? AFC West is going to be a bloodbath next season. You, as a pro football wide receiver, must have some thoughts on Davante Adams switching teams here.
Listen, the last couple of days of free agency in the NFL have been awesome. I think they do a great job about, obviously, the season's super exciting, but the offseason's super exciting, especially this year in the last couple of days. So Davante going to the Raiders, wow. Sorry, Green Bay fans, a little bit unfortunate for you guys, but man, how he's reunited with his old quarterback from college. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome.
Guess he bought a house here in Vegas recently, Davante Adams. Because Vegas is a nice place. Did he know something ahead of time? I don't know. He might have. But let's just back up the truck a little bit. You heard from the Packers fan, Jennifer, who wrote in, and she's furious that Aaron took all the money.
Yes.
Is this going to be a problem in Green Bay for the team and Aaron, do you think? Well, maybe it already is.
Oh, you know what? You could go back and check the history. Sure, I don't want to say something I didn't research myself. But the last time I checked, when's the last time the highest paid quarterback won a Super Bowl? You know what I mean? I can't remember when. So
it's not about that, is it?
Exactly. It's about, we look at obviously the Tom Brady experience where he took a little bit less to get more talent around him. I don't think Green Bay's taking a page out of that book.
Well, you could take 7 Super Bowls off the record because Tom was never the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which is just wrong when you think about it.
Very true.
Randy's watching in Winnipeg on Game Plus television, which you spent some time with the Bombers too. He says, good morning, RP crew. My Chargers finally getting good enough to go for a championship, and they're stuck in the toughest division. Guess you have to beat the best to be the best. Yes, the AFC West, but let's look at the NFC West. Where did the Super Bowl champion come out of last year? That side of America, the Los Angeles Rams. You're playing playoff games every week. That's got to be a good thing for the teams in that division.
Oh, definitely. Obviously, they're tried, tested, and proved at the beginning of the season right to the end. And if they're fortunate enough to get a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs, after those tough games, the tough games in the playoffs are nothing new to them. So they already know what the intensity is like. And, man, that could be really, really good. The AFC is going to be super exciting next year.
Well, speaking of the AFC, the people like the stories. And Jabari Arthur is with us here for hour one. Really appreciate it. Montreal guy, played at Akron. First round pick in the CFL draft, not shockingly. But you went to the NFL first. What was going on in Kansas City in 2008 that you remember? What was it like down there?
Actually, it was pretty cool. I had opportunity to, that was the coach team by Herm Edwards. And I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to speak to him, but what a character. He's another guy that when you speak to him, you have to listen to him. So that was a really cool and fun opportunity just to be around that kind of character. Man, one of my best experiences. I'm sitting down there eating lunch by myself, and lo and behold, here comes Tony Gonzalez. Has any other table to sit at. He came and sat down right in front of me, and I had the opportunity to talk with Tony Gonzalez. And man, what a guy!
Hall of Famer, right?
Oh yeah, and what a guy! He was probably in his early 30s then. He looked younger than I did. You know what I mean? What a great guy! The way he took care of his body and whatnot, absolutely cool. It was a great experience. I try to tell my kids and stuff now that, hey, I was the original number 10 before Tariq was there. So, it was a great experience. Loved every moment.
But then you show up in Calgary. I want to hear the story as to how you got to the CFL with the Stampeders, and that was your first Grey Cup on that vaunted Stamps team.
Oh yeah, what a great team in 2008. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a collection, another collection of great characters. It's kind of funny. My all aspirations were obviously to play in the NFL, and it's one of those things after I got released, which is another funny story.
Tell us.
Listen, I was released on my birthday.
Whoops.
On my birthday, August 28th. It's kind of funny. Years later, Herm Edwards is actually, he's a coach at at Arizona State.
Yep.
I've been to Arizona State there. One of my good friends is the ops guy there.
Forks up.
Yeah. I walked into his office and I was like, hey, coach, how you doing? Do you remember me? He was like, look, I'm sorry. There's a lot of guys, unfortunately, I remember the face, but I don't exactly remember you. I was like, man, you don't remember the guy you cut on his birthday? He was like, oh, man, Jabari Arthur. Listen, I was the only guy in his career that actually was released on his birthday. It was super funny.
You want to talk about a cruel business.
Yeah, that was probably the only birthday gift I did want. But nonetheless, it created some opportunity for me to come up here. At first I was kind of hesitant to come up, to be honest with you. I wanted to have an opportunity to go back to the NFL. But I was kind of tired being back home, cutting the grass and washing dishes at my mom's house. So I said, you know what, I need to go play some football. And the opportunity was still there. I came out to Calgary, and man, from the day I got here, it was the first time I'd been this far out west. And man, just absolutely fell in love with the organization, my teammates, and just the whole vibe of the city was great. And we were able to win a championship in 2008. And man, it's so exciting.
You're going to have to tell me the story of how you ended up in Winnipeg for a time and then back to Calgary. What was the story there?
Well, football is a great job, and for some people, it's not the greatest business. I suffered kind of a bad injury in training camp in the 2009 year, and you know how it is. I was trying to rehab, trying to get back. I really wanted to contribute this year or that year, and unfortunately, we had some other receivers get hurt. So I took myself off the injured reserve to try to get an opportunity to play, and I wasn't quite ready yet. And like I said, as the business goes, they had an opportunity to go and get another I guess you could say, more healthy receiver. They did so, and I went to Winnipeg. And, like I said, it was another great experience. Once again.
Who was it? Was Mike Kelly there then?
Yes, it was Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly.
What a guy.
Yeah, yes. Very interesting times there, to say the least. But I was happy for it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play. I ended up having surgery that year, and I missed the rest of the 2009 season. And came back in 2010. Wasn't quite ready to play yet. So once again, just like everybody's, story, unfortunately, I was released. And it was kind of cool because my agent said, I'm from Montreal. He said, don't drive east, drive west.
Who's your agent?
Back then, it was, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain
You've had a few.
here.
You'll think about it on the break.
Yeah, no, I'm having a brain fright here. But anyways, went west and, Huffnagel and those guys and, who was the head coach at the time said, hey, look, can you play? And I was like, if you give me a shot, he said, told me I have 4 plays at the end of practice to see what I could do. And once again, those 4 plays turned into 6 more years. So, once again, I give kudos to, a great organization for giving me the opportunity. And because of that opportunity, I was able to go get another Grey Cup ring. So, like I said, super excited.
Now here we are, yeah. I asked about the agent because the agents always watch the show every day because they tell me. So you'll think about it in the break.
Oh, definitely.
And you'll let me know. And speaking of, Mike Kelly watches every day in Bathtub Beach, Florida. And I'm telling you, Coach Kelly, I'm going to be looking you up. I'm heading back to South Florida this weekend. But we'll break and come back and tell a few more football stories. But remember, you must have been playing in the game. I think it was the Banjo Bowl, Riders-Bombers in Winnipeg, and the Bombers executed an onside kick to open the game, which the Riders recovered. But I remember talking with Jason Claremont afterwards, and I said, what a Bush League play. And he's like, I loved it.
Yeah.
He said, we were the opposition. He goes, well, I love that. So we'll talk about that and more when we come back. Jabari Arthur here, nice enough to talk some football with us on a Football Friday. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 states, all across Ohio on the Buckeye Cable Network. And I bring that up because he played at Akron. Also live streaming on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Beautiful morning. Oh, that snow's going to be gone by the end of the day here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Balmy temperatures out here. And speaking of Grey Eagle Resort, got more shows coming up. Let me just tell you about them in a second. What do we got here? The Beach Boys catch the West Coast beach vibe with one of the most influential rock and roll bands of all time. The Beach Boys dance and sing along to the best hits of the iconic band for one night only, July 28th at the Grey Eagle Event Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.ca. Jabari Arthur was with us, 2-time Grey Cup champion with the Stampeders, now the offensive coordinator with the Dinos. You must be familiar with Grey Eagle because I get told often here, we're big fans of the Stamps. They have their poker tournament out here. So I turned your mic down. You must have been out here before.
Yep, I've definitely been out here before. It's been a while, a little bit, obviously with everything that's going on. And I forgot how pretty it is over here. They got the lights going. Man, I almost had to sat down before I got up here and, put a few...
Play some games.
Oh, yeah.
I was on a Zoom call today with our exclusive betting partner, Bet Regal, and they're looking over my shoulder. They're like, that is a hell of a place.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, it is. You got to come check it out. So, Jabari is what you would call a football guy. He's buried in coaching and training the Dinos. He was not aware of the news that's making the rounds this week. And that is the Commissioner Randy Ambrosie on his Randy's road trip. He stopped here in Calgary on, Wednesday, I think, and then Thursday night in Regina. He's addressed a variety of things. He announced last night at Mosaic Stadium that the Touchdown Atlantic returns Riders Argos July 16th in Halifax. But this 4 downs talk is coming up. So I asked Jabari, do you have a thought on that? He's like, what? I'm not surprised you wouldn't know. You're buried in what's right in front of your face.
Oh, yeah.
But the rumor is that the CFL is considering going to 4 downs, and the reason being an analytic data business partner of the league, Genius Sports, is behind this move to 4 downs. And my guess is it's for mathematical reasons and formatics reasons. You don't seem very happy about that idea.
No, obviously they're gonna decide what they're gonna decide, but I feel that the CFL style of football, the Canadian style of football is so unique in its own way that I don't think it needs to be changed. It makes it a little bit more exciting. Every down is a little bit more valuable. The way the NFL is, that's great. That's an exciting brand of football as well. Don't get me wrong, but I just like the differences that the CFL has with, like I said, one less down. It makes it a little bit more exciting.
Sure, but I'm having a tough time following what the commissioner is saying, and I've long been a big fan of his. That hasn't changed. Randy played in the CFL. He knows the game inside out. But he said last night that they want to speed up the game. As a guy who played NCAA football, NFL, and CFL, and Canadian high school, I assume, was 3 down where you played?
Yep. Actually, in Montreal, it's 4 down.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, now we're getting somewhere. Does that speed... Why would you think of adding it down if you want to speed the game up? To me, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, truth be told, I'm not entirely sure how it is going to speed the game up. Maybe it means that offensive will have a few less possessions and longer drives possibly because they have an extra down. But and like I said, the only thing that it does is sometimes it does special teams plays a bigger role now because, you start every time you get the ball at 2nd and 10, and even when you get a first down, it's still, considered 2nd and 10. And sometimes, with 2 and out, you have to punt the ball back and forth. So special teams has a little bit more of a vibe, but.
Whoa. Well, we talked about Mark Killam in the break, and you said, you're like, if you think I have energy, how about Mark? That's what you said. He had some very strong thoughts on this going to 4 down. There would be less punts. That he'd be less needed.
So to speak, he will be.
Honestly. But that's the thing. When you talk 4 downs versus 3 downs, I watch these NFL games, and they say 15-play drive. This is a 16-play drive. And I'm like, I can see it. But Ron Lancaster used to always say, the iconic Rough Rider quarterback and CFL coach, if you haven't scored in 10 plays, you're not scoring in the CFL. So there's that's the fun part of the uniqueness of it. But as far as the players go, you went back and forth so much. Did you find it? Because a lot of coaches say football's football. As a receiver, did you find a big difference between the 2 games?
Oh, there is. It is football, but there's a huge difference, especially from the offense perspective. When you're playing the American-style sport or American football, there's no movement. You know what I mean? You're stationary and you go, but just the way you develop plays and stuff like that on this style of football, where you have a receiver going down the line, another one going outside. There's a lot of more movement and a lot more dynamic into the offense. So even if they went to 4 downs, I just feel like maybe they want more points scored because it's going to be super, super hard for defenders to have to defend all of that plus have to defend another down. But like I said, there is a huge difference. I enjoy all the dynamics and the creativity that comes involved with Canadian football.
So the first time you played Canadian football was when you came to the CFL. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yep. I went down to the U.S. as a quarterback. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was a quarterback when I was younger, and so I was used to all that stuff, but I never actually had to do some of that motion and some of all that stuff. So when I went down to the U.S., changed position, coming back up, it was I don't want to say it was a learning curve for me, but it was the first time playing receiver in the Canadian style, so it was a bit of a learning curve for me.
Who helped you with that?
I have to give props to Nick Lewis. He was my guy. You know what I mean? When I first came up to Calgary, I kind of said, man, who's the man around here, man? I want to see who it is. And a lot of guys said it was Nick, so he kind of took me under his wing. You're very young in my career, so give him some props.
I told you about all the Stampeder people that were coming down here. Ryan Felwell was another. And Felwell said he wasn't going to sign here as a free agent because he hated Nick Lewis. Nick and somebody else, I want to say Copeland. It couldn't have been you because everybody would like you. But he said he went out on the town one night with Nick, and he's like, I'm signing. I love this guy. Cynthia's watching in Pittsburgh. She says, Jabari is so enthusiastic and quite an inspiration. I am so happy he drove west. Congratulations, young man. Mike watching in Toronto says, Jabari was on both sides of the border. What's his take on the 4 down, 3 down? Then he goes, never mind, you're asking. LOL. From Don Mitchell, our Navy friend, the lack of clarity from the commissioner is one of the reasons why he gets so much flack. Yeah, I can't defend him. I like him, but I think he needs to be more clear. Thank you you said it better than I could. From my cousin Kristin in Medicine Hat. She says, I like the CFL just the way it is. Is Jabari an NBA fan?
Yes, I'm definitely an NBA fan. Once again, I did go to school in Akron, who is the home of LeBron James.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm definitely a LeBron James fan, but I'm a huge Giannis fan as well. Those kind of the teams that I follow right now. So, one team is on the rise, the other's on the fall, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Absolutely. Which reminds me, I say we don't talk a lot of NBA on this show. Doesn't mean I don't follow it either. I know what's going on, but people would rather talk football in this country. I get it. Mike in Toronto. Oh, we're going to break. Are you good till the top of the hour?
Oh, yeah,
One more segment?
Oh,
okay,
yeah, I'm good.
So we have a very engaging guest here today, Jabari Arthur, and he's ready to answer all of your questions. And Jack, hang on. I got your comment. We'll get to that next, okay? We'll start Taco Time viewer takeover next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Here we go. It is Taco Time Viewer Takeover. I got to ring the bell because Taco Time is back on board, bringing you Viewer Takeover. I'll be putting on this Taco Time lapel pin. I got to get one to Jabari here before he goes, too. Love me some Taco Time. From the viewers, Jack Fulton, the aforementioned Jack, writes in. He says, Jabs, what's up? Love Jabari Arthur, always with a smile, always giving 150%, always a class act. Congrats on the promotion to offensive coordinator. Well deserved.
Yep, thank you, Jack. Greatly appreciated. And yep, it's definitely some exciting times. I'm, once again, ecstatic to see what the boys are going to put out on the field coming up this upcoming season.
By the way, I got to mention, Tough Tribe for Men has made the road trip with us to Calgary, although it has been our home. I was telling Jabari for several weeks here, but Tough Tribe for Men hair products contains aloe vera, botanicals, and antioxidants. Traditionally known for their scalp and hair benefits, we are part of the clean beauty industry. Welcome to Clean Beauty for Men, available today at toughtribeformen.com. That's the number 4, toughtribeformen.com, and Amazon Canada. If you haven't tried it, it's been a game changer for me. Jabari's wearing a lid because he said he's having a bad hair day. You would have no bad hair days with Tough Tribe for Men. Trust me, you got to check that out.
All right, I'll definitely check it out then for sure.
Now, the viewers, they got a million questions for you. I just got one. One of the first questions I had for you in the building here today was those Philpott twins. Are they both going to go in the top 5? And you said
They should go. Definitely they better go in the top 5. One of the best athletes I've ever had opportunities to work with. Like I've been said this before a million times. I think they're professional athletes by the time they were 12. Just the way they conduct themselves, just the way they approach football, not only physically but mentally. So, man, they're going to go and change somebody's offense wherever they go in the next couple of weeks for sure.
Well, so that makes this draft very exciting this spring for the CFL to see where they go. Their dad, Corey Philpott, I guess. I don't know if you're old enough. You probably aren't old enough to remember watching him. I remember watching Corey. Do you remember watching him?
I definitely remember watching Quick Six for sure.
Okay. Well, as I said, he was a back and he was a packed body. And I said, are his kids built like that? And you said they're more receiver types?
Yeah, they're definitely more receiver types. I would probably say they're probably faster than their dad was ever. But, they're definitely more receiver types. I feel that even though Jalen was a former running back, he's definitely made a change over to receiver, and he's definitely excelling at that position for sure.
Well, they are like football's version of the Sedines. I'm just wondering if I was a CFL team, picking in the top 5, maneuver a trade to get both picks. Can you imagine both on the same team? Do you think they'd want to play together on the same team in the CFL, or?
No, I could definitely imagine both on the same team.
Yeah.
But honestly, they're great. I've never met a more competitive group of guys. I mean, just 1 and 2. They're always like, hey, man, come on, you should do this a bit better. And they're always going back and forth. But, once again, they've matured a lot since they came here. And it's probably going to be the first time ever in their lives they're probably going to play apart from each other. But I'm pretty sure the text messages and the phone calls will be going back and forth.
They're very supportive.
Yeah, very, very supportive. At the same time, very, very competitive. I'm really, really excited to see what they're going to make with their professional careers. Do
you think they could start as rookies in the CFL?
Yes, I do. I think, like I said, they're very, very, very talented. And the thing which is great about them is they're always, no matter where they are, no matter what level of football is, no matter what you challenge them with, they're going to try to be the best at it. So, like I said, super excited.
This is a very exciting time leading up to the CFL draft for that story. Jeff Kabilis is watching in Winnipeg. He says, my favorite player in the CFL is a special teams player, Bombers Mike Miller. But I remember Corey Philpott. He was great. Obviously, he did a great job raising his boys.
He definitely did.
Obviously.
Yeah, kudos to the mom as well. You know what I mean? I want to shoot their mom did a great job as well, keeping them level-headed and whatnot. So I think both parents together to put them together and put them in a great spot to be professionals.
From Chris, she says, I think the majority of fans would want to stay with 3 downs if anyone cared to ask us. We'll get to that next hour. Andrew says, hey, Jabari. Oh, no. Another from Chris. What would be a good poll question? Or that would be a good poll question. Well, we do have a great poll question, and it is for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center. Who would you take out of these 3 quarterbacks? Baker Mayfield, Matt Ryan, or Deshaun Watson? And we'll end that with Jabari Arthur here. You got to vote on that. You're following all the drama in the National Football League this week. Of those 3 quarterbacks, who would you take to quarterback your team?
Well, if you take only the on-the-field stuff, I would definitely take Deshaun Watson. I think that he's super dynamic, what a great talent. Even after when he was hurt, beforehand, he came out there, distributes the ball very well. And, I definitely think that he's the youngest out of them as well. So
if you're the GM, you're taking Deshaun Watson.
100% I'm going to take Deshaun Watson.
All right. You have a great weekend and keep in touch. I appreciate you coming down here.
Dude, thanks for having me. What a great vibe this is.
It's awesome. I'm so appreciative of Jabari Arthur coming down here. Of the Calgary Dinos, Stamps great 2-time Grey Cup champion Andy McNamara from Sportsnet talking NFL next hour. Stick around. We'll be right back after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Alice Cooper, the godfather of shock rock, is back with special guest Buck Cherry. Mosaic Place, Sunday, April 10th. Get tickets now at mosaicplace.ca and sasktix.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Brent Sopel checking in from Clearwater, Florida. You must get this a lot. Who is your favorite coach?
Mark Crawford probably would have to be my guy for me. We had a love relationships. We butted heads, but he believed in me all my time in Vancouver. He put me out there, even though I'd screw up, and he put me right back out there. So Mark Crawford definitely is number one for me.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It sure is. Welcome, everybody, to Hour 2 of the RP Show. It's brought to you by Great Western Original 16 Beer, the best beer in the game. And, boy, was there a lot of it flowing last night at the Saddle Dome. Oh, boy.
Oh,
I call it the hair of the dog game. Calgary Roughnecks beating the Saskatchewan Rush 14-12 in the Dome. It was a lot of fun. We're welcoming back onto the stage here. What do they call this stage? Why am I drawing a blank?
Stage bar?
Stage bar. Duh. Stage bar here at the Grey Eagle. So hard to remember.
I know, right?
The Moose is back with us. People are raging about our first hour guest, Jabari Arthur, and for good reason. Just a very engaging guy. Had a lot to say.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know how it goes in hour 2. We're not as big into the topics that we opened. We opened with last night's NHL games, a lot of the NFL news, and we'll get into that here.
Yeah.
But a couple things coming out. Andrew Stute watching it remind me, he wanted me to ask Jabari, but I don't think the football guys care as much about this as what a guy like you might.
Okay.
He says, what are your thoughts on the CFL showing games on YTV like the NFL does with Nickelodeon? Now, he might because he's got kids himself, and I'll get to that in a moment. But the thing that's sticking in my craw somewhat, and I don't really care, but is the 4-down thing and how upset people are getting. And it jarred in my mind because Jeff, the Stamps fan, says this is day 4 of the Alex Singleton watch. And I'm like, are you watching to see which NFL team he signs with or praying that he comes back to Calgary, which they probably are. But I saw Alex retweet with a no with regards to the 4-down thing.
Yeah.
Buddy, when they went to 3-on-3 overtime in the NHL or shootouts, do you remember this degree of furor?
I know.
From hockey fans?
I know.
I'm never watching again if they go to a shootout. Those pricks.
It's not
What?
hockey. It's not hockey.
No, I'm really? Really?
Yeah.
This is really affecting your life to the degree that it is, that you'll burn up your season tickets and you want Randy Ambrosie fired and you're saying all these horrible things about the people that run the league when they're really just trying to save it. I remember mild grumbling. I had an opinion on shootouts and 3-on-3. I did, believe me, but I didn't lose any sleep over it. And there are people that are just coming unhinged, triggered, 4 downs. My God, I wish the problems in my life were so small that would get me that upset.
I know. And the thing about all of it is it's just exploring possibilities. And there's in order to have real progress and real growth, you have to be open-minded enough to be able to accept anything as a potential opportunity to move the league forward. Doesn't mean that anybody's sitting here being like, we want to move the league to 4 downs. But if we're exploring it as an option, then at least we're open to the fact that, we might go down that road and it might make the league better. Or we'll explore it and realize it's not going to make the league better and we won't go down that road. But we should be exploring everything, doing our due diligence. And that's what's happening. This, Genius Sports is, potentially investigating going to 4 downs or recommending it. Well, they should recommend everything and then see what the league wants to do. Let Randy make the decision.
I just noticed I haven't had a good Rod rant in a while. When we do, it's brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating and Cooling. Tell them Rod sent you. They'll give you 10% off. Trust me, they will. Ask for Camco. Bronco Plumbing and Heating sponsoring Rod's Rant. By the way, the rock star of the day, which we do every day, is for Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. And on Thursday, it was Gino DePaoli. Everybody really loved the voice of the owners, Gino DePaoli. They really loved him.
Right.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions specializes in improving your company's performance and bottom line through supply chain management services. I had to get that in there. I have a pretty strong feeling that today's Rockstar of the Day will be one Jabari Arthur. But I don't know if you want to go back on the NFL stuff or not. He said that he would take Deshaun Watson based on only what he brings to the field. And a lot of GMs do that in sports. Look at what Evander Kane's doing up in Edmonton. They've won 4 in a row. He's scoring.
Right.
They don't care what he did off the field. It's not a rare thought. But back to what our Navy friend Don said about this Randy's road trip. He said the fact that the commissioner is non-committal is what's got everybody so upset. And I don't know if it's a secret or not. I don't really care the way the CFL handles this stuff.
Yeah.
The XFL thing was a gigantic tempest in the teapot and a waste of time. I don't even know the XFL thing. I don't know why they even brought that up. Do you think it was a distraction? Get him talking about something else?
To go down the XFL road?
Yeah.
No, it was not a waste of time. I mean...
No. Listen to me, Grasshopper. Talking to the XFL, great. Telling the world they're talking to the XFL, different story.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do that, but why do you got to send a statement out on it?
What's the purpose of
right,
the statement?
So you want to look at 4 downs because your data analytics betting partner wants you to. That's also fine. Is he leaking this to test the waters?
Could be. And that's smart, too. See what the temperature
You're going to let the fans decide what you should do?
But you find out what people actually think. You hope, and then how much you listen depends on how much you value the input and, who you want to make your decisions. You're not going to let the fans make every decision, but they pay the bills. So, I mean, some input would be great. And then what fans? You start looking at what fans are saying no to 4 downs. What fans are embracing it, if any, and you start to think of what's our target, where do we want to grow? And if we want to grow in an audience of people that are, 20 to 35, then we got to listen to their reactions, not just the 35 plus. So it all depends on what your goals are.
Sure, and it matters what your own perspective is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think every day of our interview here with Theo, last week when he just talked about society and what it's going to take to get him back. Everybody's so defensive. Everybody's so triggered. And that's why sometimes I say, why does Darren stuff a mic in front of my face every day? Because all it does is piss people off. Maybe that's what you want. I don't know. I don't really care. But, Jeff the Stamps fan says, this has really got people worked up today. They're not angry, but Jeff the Stamps fan says, I'm sure most fans would eventually accept 4 downs, but let's hope it doesn't come to that. William in Lloydminster says, I watch football. Doesn't matter what they do as long as I can keep on watching. Well, isn't that an enlightened statement?
Right.
From Tacona in Winnipeg. Rod, sorry, you can't compare the NHL overtime and CFL 3 to 4 downs. Yes, I can. I just did. Don't tell me what I can't do. This guy gets it. John Ohm in Winnipeg watching says 4 downs because of betting algorithms. That's exactly what I think it is. It would fit their apps better at Genius Sports to be 4 downs. I believe that, don't you?
It would play a role, probably.
Yeah.
Continuity across the game helps a lot, right?
I think that's got to be the only reason. Chris Bird watching in Toronto. Welcome back, Chris. King City, Ontario. Says last season, CFL teams generated 19.5 first downs. NFL teams generated 20.25 first downs. Does 4 down football make a more exciting game? Probably not. And I would think that the CFL tall foreheads in suits that are going to eventually make this decision are factoring all of that in.
Yeah.
Regarding the switch in NHL rules, Don, the Navy friend, says it's because Canadians own hockey. So we are initiating the change to 3-on-3. But it seems like this 4 down thing is another push to Americanize Canadian institutions. Well, I would suggest that's just ego. But that's me. That's my opinion. I mean, again, people are becoming unhinged over this, and I don't quite understand it. And back to Andrew that started this all, the kids' games on YTV for the NFL. Again, Jabari might have a thought on that, but what are yours?
I think it's great.
Yeah, so if we had CFL games on, what's the Canadian kids channel?
YTV.
Is it? I haven't watched 20 years, so
right.
Close to it.
I think it'd be great. And they're doing it on Nickelodeon when they do the slime thing, and they have a kid on there kind of hosting it, and you're not watching or having the game on the same way. It's all about the stars and more about the touchdown dances, more about the personalities, and what you're seeing in the NFL is you're seeing young kids that are huge fans of Tyreek Hill and Derrick Henry and Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady because of how they're showing the personalities on these kids shows. And I think that's really cool.
Last year, it was a playoff game. I can't remember which one was on Nickelodeon. And I was in Florida. I watched the Nickelodeon feed. It was fun. I liked it.
These coaches. So could you imagine Chris Jones or Mike O'Shea? I mean, you had Sean Payton and other coaches letting these YTV hosts spill slime on their faces.
Can you imagine the look on Jones' face?
After the game. You got slimed after they won.
It's 11-11 Mountain.
Could you imagine?
We're on the right track.
You think Wayne Harris would let us drop some slime on him after a Dinos game?
Of course, whatever.
How about Blake? You think Blake would let us do it?
A lot of people would love to see that.
Blake, doesn't need to be on Nickelodeon to slime Blake Nil. Can you imagine Chris Jones if they dump green slime in his head? He doesn't look impressed at the best of times.
Yeah, when they win.
Glenn writes in. Glenn with 2 N's. What?
Imagine Randy sitting in a meeting trying to convince everybody that this is what we're going to be doing.
Guys, hear me out. You like this show, eh, Jabs? And you didn't even know about it. You're going to watch every day. Dead. Jabari. Dead, he said. Anyways, Glenn says, I was at Randy Ambrosie's road trip last night and told Randy that the fans do not want 4 downs. Everyone in the room applauded that statement. I will accept 4 downs if I need to, but do not want it. Somebody wrote in here earlier and said, who exactly is Genius Sports? And I don't know. Is it a perilous time in the CFL whereby in exchange for a big fat check from Genius Sports or from The Rock, Randy Ambrosie would sell the soul of the CFL for that check? Like, who is Genius Sports? What do you know about Genius Sports?
Not a lot, but an agency that's, coming here to help grow the CFL and digital platforms and reach a younger audience. And you know what? It seems like they're leaving no stone unturned. So that's a good thing. But now, when we get advice, we don't just turn over the keys to somebody and say, here, you're going to now control the CFL. We pay them to give us different advice, show us different numbers, present different options. But then as a league, we got to make the decisions that fit what we want to do too.
From Metal Shingle Guy writes in on the text line, 902-518-3033. He says, all these 3-down crybabies, you'll enjoy CFL Classic when the CFL is gone. He's saying adapt or die. And there's a lot to be said for that, is there not?
Yeah.
Adapt or die. God knows we have. God knows I have.
Well, are you willing to cut off the arm to save the body, right? A lot of people aren't.
Ding, 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 ding.
Bingo!
Not saying we need to cut the arm off.
We're
but
not?
just we might be at that point at some.
Now would be a good time to talk about our BetRegal.ca Game of the Week end. And now would be a good time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to look at tonight's games. Not going to get into what's going on Saturday, Sunday. My bracelet says one day at a time, and I only go one day at a time. So we're asking you, the viewers, to look at the sports weekend schedule and pick your featured game, the one you're the most interested in, and pick the winner. And send it to us today. 902-518-3033. Certainly before face-off, tip-off, kickoff, whatever. And if you correctly win it, or if you're right, you'll be entered into a random draw for a swag bag. How's that? From BetRegal.ca. Hoodies, bunny hugs, hats, what else? They got? Golf shirts, T-shirts.
A little bit of everything.
Car keys, house keys. So I'm looking at this. 6 games tonight in the National Hockey League. Philadelphia at Ottawa. Washington at Carolina. I got to think it's Boston at Winnipeg might be the game for me. No. It's here. Buffalo Sabres at the Calgary Flames solely because it is the return game for Peyton Krebs. There's a buzz. There's a buzz here in this valley with Peyton Krebs, the Okotoks product, coming in with the Buffalo Sabres tonight. I'll pick Calgary to win the game. Also, Florida at Anaheim and Colorado at San Jose. But that Bruins-Jets game's really tantalizing, isn't it?
It is.
That's tonight at Canada Life Center, Winnipeg.
Washington's in Carolina. That's 2 heavy hitters. That's a big game tonight, too. It's an early game, 5 o'clock here Mountain, where we are. So that's an early one. Probably get that one in. So I'll probably go with that one.
Bet Regal's big fans of the NBA tonight. Tonight, it is the Raptors home to the Lakers. That might be your featured game. Pick the winner. One NLL game tonight, and you can also place wagers on the National Lacrosse League at BetRegal.ca. It's the Vancouver Warriors at the Colorado Mammoth. Can also bet on junior hockey. Can I selfishly put in my guilty pleasure, the junior games tonight?
Yes.
God's team not playing tonight, the Regina Pat. Brandon's at Winnipeg. Medicine Hat at Swift Current. Red Deer at Lethbridge. The Calgary Hitmen are at Edmonton. And out west, Prince George at Victoria. Everett at Vancouver. Seattle at Tri-City. Kamloops at Kelowna. Remind me to tell more Westie stories after the break.
Okay.
And the SJHL playoffs open tonight. Would you mind if I just throw that in?
Of course.
For our SJ friends and the Junior A friends. Game 1. Notre Dame at Estevan. Larange at the Humboldt Broncos. Yorkton at Melfort. And Flin Flon at the Battlefords. We'll be right back with more. You are watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television and YouTube Live. And if you missed the show, catch the podcast on Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, coming up, Saturday, April 2nd here at Grey Eagle Event Center, the Mum So Hard comedy show. And the stars of it, Kristin Headley and Jan Smedley, will be joining us later on here in hour 2, which is brought to you by Great Western Original 16 Beer, the best beer in the game. Kristin Headley and Jen Smedley coming up from Mum So Hard. Hey, by the way, I said to Moose, we're going to celebrate our last day at Grey Eagle with another buffet. It's been an amazing day. Thank you, Clark, for putting this all together. The people at Grey Eagle for throwing together Kristin and Jen joining us. Our guy Jack for bringing in Jabari. Go follow his Instagram. He's taking photos and videos from all over there. He's like, these guys are awesome. And I just can't say enough about Calgary coming together to help us out and work together to win. But anyways, people have said, Rod, how have you stayed so thin eating a buffet every day? I was thinking about that. Define thin, I'm not sure that I am. And 2, I don't eat 3 plates. I said to Moose, I have 1 plate a day. So it has a little bit of everything, kind of like this show, right? So that's how. But we're going to have 1 more buffet, and then we'll be out of here and see you in April. Well, I'm very excited to bring in Andy McNamara. He's got a lot of fans. They're all excited that we were going to have him on. Sportsnet Fantasy Insider, hosts that Browns podcast. He's got it on right there. Listen, off-the-chain week in the National Football League, Andy. You being the Browns aficionado, where are you on the Baker Mayfield Cleveland Browns divorce today?
Rod, if anybody remembers the series Mad Men, and the guy gets into the elevator, and he was asked how he's doing, and the reply was, "Not great, Bob." That's how I am, Rod. I'm not great. I'm not doing well. This is not good. I'm in quarterback hell again. This is a bad scene. This is a debacle. This is an embarrassment. You swung. You missed extremely hard on Deshaun Watson. I wanted to give the front office more credit that they had a viable backup plan. It appears they do not. The plan was just to go back to Baker Mayfield, who they should know is super emotional and takes things very personally. So I don't know what the bleep they're going to do at quarterback in Cleveland. So I'm wearing my Baker Mayfield appreciation shirt, the Cleveland Maserati, the play that they ran to make the playoffs when they beat the Steelers.
Well, and that's the thing. Just to walk it back for a second for the people that aren't as averse in this situation, the Cleveland Browns have going into his 5th year with the team, Baker Mayfield, number 1 overall pick, Oklahoma star, and he thought he was their guy. And then they made an overture for Deshaun Watson, the disgraced, well, I guess not anymore, whatever, the embattled Houston quarterback who doesn't want to go to Cleveland. Right, and now, and Baker found out about it, and he's upset. And honestly, you don't blame Baker. Is that the sense? You don't blame Baker for being upset?
No, I don't. Now, by other accounts as well, it looks like at the Combine, Baker's agent and group were told by the Browns, look, if we have a chance to explore for a different quarterback, we will, just to give you a heads up. And apparently the camp was fine with that. However, they found out that the Browns were on a private jet to Houston to talk to Deshaun Watson on social media. And that's where the problem lies, because you want to keep your starting QB, however long you think he'll be your starting QB, in the loop. Thing is, this front office and coaching staff, Baker Mayfield is not their guy. John Dorsey drafted him. He's now in Detroit. So this is a possible regime change. My question just remains not that you don't want to try to get better than Baker Mayfield. You obviously can, but I think he had all the talent when healthy and proved in the Stefanski offense that he can be a star and coming back healthy. I wanted to see what he could do. But if you don't, that's fine. But there's 3-4 other teams that also have quarterback needs, and there's not enough guys to go around. So I don't think this was the right year to do it. And again, I have no clue what they are going to do in Cleveland at quarterback. Right now, it's Baker Mayfield, who requested a trade that was denied by the Browns, so there's that too, and Case Keenum, who they didn't want to play last year. So,
yeah, buddy, it seems like there are more teams than quarterbacks to go around. But let me just listen. I'm a Baker guy because I love his emotion. I love his talent. I think he's a winner. I think you win with a guy like that. This is just so Browns that they would do this. But think about this, Andy. The exact same thing happened in Miami in season with Tua. They said they were looking into Deshaun Watson, and he came back and played and won games. Unless I'm missing something, the exact same thing happened to Tua. So why can't Baker look at it that way?
Yeah. No, Rod, it's a great point. Look at Hurricanes, and maybe that's going to be the case. But the issue with Baker is he is so emotional. If I'm him, what I'm thinking is, all right, Browns front office, nuts to you. I'm going to ball out. I'm going to get my 6-7 year, $150+ million contract somewhere else, and you're going to have to look at me and my Pro Bowl butt on the way out. That's how I would take it. The problem also, though, Rod, as we know, on a football team, which is such the ultimate team experience, if these guys know that they have a lame duck quarterback, how is that going to play? And the wrinkle to this, go from a team aspect moving forward, a team that just brought in Amari Cooper as well.
The other big story I got to get your take on is the Davante Adams trade from Green Bay to Las Vegas. Packers fans writing in here today livid that Aaron Rodgers has sucked up all the money. As the fantasy guy that you are, you get it. Is it as easy as that? Davante wanted to be the highest paid receiver in the game. You already got the highest paid player in the game in Green Bay. Wasn't going to work. Is that how it worked out, do you think?
From what I was reading, it looked like the Packers were ready to pay him. Davante wanted to leave. He wanted, there was a deal on the table from Green Bay, and he wanted out. He wanted, Derek Carr is his college quarterback, and he wanted to leave Green Bay for Vegas. So the question now becomes to me, okay, if you're a Packers fan, look, it's done, right? You gotta live in the now. So what do you do if you're the now? Well, you're in luck because this is, again, a super deep wide receiver draft class. The problem is you missed out on most of, if not all, the hot free agent wide receivers. And this Packers front office gives me zero confidence that they're going to make the right decision because they never draft wide receivers in the first round, and they make stupid decisions like drafting Jordan Love and a blocking tight end in the third round 2 years ago. So you got to draft at least, if you don't pick up a free agent, Rod, you got to draft at least 2 guys. Now you can get them. They're there. There's a lot of variety. You can get them. Will they get them? And if you don't, then I don't know why you bothered to bring back Aaron Rodgers in the first place.
You know, it's interesting you say that. You're like the first guy to bring up Jordan Love and all this. Has anybody asked him what he thinks about Aaron's new 4-year, $200 million contract? Jordan Love's not starting anytime soon.
No, nor should he from the one game we saw. Now, that doesn't write off Jordan Love's career, of course, right? One game? Okay. I was not a believer of him coming out of college at all. I think it was a straight up stupid move by the Packers, who were in a win now mode to try to get a quarterback to sit on the bench when you could have got a real asset to help push you over the top. That's being too cute to me. I was like, now we'll go the third in a row. We'll go Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love, and we're smarter than everybody else. Well, no, you're not, because now you got Jordan Love on the bench, who doesn't look too good. His trade value is next to nothing. And if this contract goes the full route, he's not going to play for you at all. That's significant wasted capital.
Yeah, sometimes you think these guys are so ingeniously smart. They have to be. They're the general manager of an NFL team or the president of an NFL. Right. Nope. They don't look that far down the line. Ryan H. watching on YouTube says, what a day to have Andy on the show. So great getting the local perspective. He's talking about the Cleveland Browns, obviously. What about that AFC West? You know, last year, I think you and I agreed that the NFC West was the toughest division in the league. There's not much doubt what the toughest division is now in the National Football League.
No question. No, what an arms race. My goodness. Like, okay, the big play was you get Russell Wilson over to the Broncos. Well, what were we talking about last year, Rod, where it's like, wow, if you're looking at it fantasy-wise, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, all there, but the quarterback couldn't get him the ball. Wasted opportunity. Now you got Russell Wilson, who, by the way, 32 years old, and he is durable. That thing last year was a fluke with his finger. We're not talking about bum knees or ankles here. That's a finger. He's fine. So now you elevate that aspect in the division. So what do the Chargers do? Well, if you already have a quarterback, you need to get more guys to go get the quarterback. So what did they? Khalil Mack? Okay. What else? Oh, hey, Raiders, you bring in Devontae Adams to now pair with Darren Waller? My goodness. This is as exciting a division. Oh, and by the way, there's the Kansas City Chiefs, who are perennial Super Bowl favorites. This is going to be fun to watch top to bottom. Right? You forget about the Chiefs. Yeah, they're also really good.
Oh, I know, and I can't remember if it was last Friday or the Friday before, but Torrey Gurley was on. You would know him as a Browns alum, and
yes.
He's one of our NFL analysts, and actually he's appeared on Sportsnet too. And I said, who won the Seahawks Broncos trade? He said, Russell Wilson won the trade. He's out of Seattle, and he's on a team that's ready to go. He was the missing piece with Denver, and I thought that's why Torrey is one of the best analysts. Nobody else has said that. Russell Wilson won that trade.
He sure did, and well said by Torrey. Yes, he did. He wanted out, and he went to a situation where it should be a progressive head coach. Now, it's a damn tough division, but he was already in a tough division, so that shouldn't faze him. And he had you know how much I love DK Metcalf. My goodness, just that. You got Lockett there, but you upgrade even though from those nice pieces with the receiver sets I just said. Javonte Williams should be the bell cow in that backfield. So you got a young stud in year 2 behind you. You can be mobile. You got a good defense, and you have those weapons. Now, I have to say, DK Metcalf is probably the best, maybe the best teammate in football. Because he's like, hey, he's trying to stick up for Drew Lock. It's like, DK, we love you, baby, but come on. You can't believe that. Like, hey, why is everybody ragging on Drew Lock? Because Drew Lock's not good. That's why. He's not a good quarterback. There's no way. This is the other thing, Rod. I want to know what Seattle does next, because there is no possible way to me that if you're the Seattle Seahawks and 70-something-year-old Pete Carroll, you're interested in a rebuild. You either tear this thing to the studs, or you have some sort of trick up your sleeve at quarterback. Maybe it's a guy. I think they fell in love with somebody in the draft process. That's what I think. It's got to be that, or you have a bridge and draft somebody, because there is no freaking way you go into next year with the expectation of, let's run it back with Drew Lock. Come on.
Wayne in Victoria, BC says, I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan and really hope they can swing Baker Mayfield. Wouldn't that be something? I don't know how much they've got left to trade. Yeah. Mind you, they just got to whack assets for Russell Wilson. John in Winnipeg with a great question. I'm going to tie this in with our exclusive betting partner, betregal.ca. John says, Andy, who's the biggest long shot to win the Super Bowl this year? I want to put some money on it, dude. We should be posting some Bet Regal futures odds here for the Super Bowl. Yeah, what do you think? It's in Arizona. Will the Cardinals continue the string of home teams playing in their own Super Bowl? What do you think's going to happen? I think Arizona, down. That's a thumbs down. I think we look, and I don't know what the current odds are. I'll have to get to Bet Regal and check them out. But I think with Denver coming in with Russell Wilson, you have to pop them right up there. AFC North, I would put the Bengals with what they've done. I wouldn't say that's a long shot because they were just there. I don't think people necessarily are talking enough about the Tennessee Titans. We know they're super well coached. We know their defense is strong. Tannehill, bad year. You had Derrick Henry, but he's coming back. I think that with a decent draft, the Tennessee Titans could be one of those teams that, in the back of your mind, are good, but haven't made a lot of noise this offseason. So maybe the Tennessee Titans is someone to look at. Well, that would make our co-host and boss, Darren DuPont, very happy as he is. There he is. He just came run out of the back, pumping his fists in the air. There you go, Andy. Let's go. Before we let you go, Ultimate Franchise Fantasy Sports, what is the latest there, my dude? Oh, man. Well, Rod, we have, speaking of the NFL draft, we have an NFL draft party package in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada, at our buddies. Let's go with Circa. At Circa, what we're doing, Circa Las Vegas, which is a phenomenal facility, is at 3 properties. They're having us in, and we're selling a party package for the NFL draft. So unless Roger Goodell is welcoming you up on stage to give you a hug, this is the place to be in Las Vegas. Stadium Swim, which is just a gorgeous, huge facility, hottest party in town. You got that. There's drinks. There's food. There's the Legacy Club, which, Rod, I don't know why they have it, but there's a rotating glass case of gold bars in there. It's like out of Ocean's 11. Why? Because it's Vegas and they can. I don't know why, but it's an amazing view. It's a tremendous facility, and we got the party package for you. There's only 35 tickets left, so hit me up. You can go on Twitter. You see right there, AndyMC81, or email Andy@uffsports.com, and we'll get you the info for more details. But it's going to be a heck of a party. You're a Vegas guy. I love it. Andy, the fans have loved the segment. Thanks for coming on, my man, and talking NFL. Have a great weekend. Oh, anytime, guys. Thank you so much. When we come back, we're going to start viewer takeover early again for our friends at Taco Time. So get your comments in on everything that we've talked about today. It's been a huge football day. Your Bet Regal featured games of the night or the weekend, I'd love to know what they are and what are your picks. And then in the final segment, Kristin Headley and Jen Smedley from the comedy show Mum So Hard will be joining us to preview their Saturday, April 2nd show here at Grey Eagle. We'll be right back. It is a Flame Tech Football Friday. You're watching on the Game Plus television network, YouTube live streaming, of course, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad. Now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show. Official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Here we go. Quick sports update on this Football Friday. The Edmonton Oilers finally played a complete game and earning their 4th straight win. Connor Yamamoto, Connor McDavid, and Tyson Barrie each had a goal and an assist as the Oilers pasted Buffalo 6-1 Thursday night. They're third in the Pacific. Meanwhile, the Calgary Flames look to build on their division lead when they host the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Peyton Krebs of Okotoks and the Buffalo Sabres. The Flames have won 7 of 8 and have a 5-point lead over LA atop the Pacific Division. Also very exciting night in Winnipeg. Jets home to the Bruins. And Ottawa hosts Philadelphia. The Claude Giroux-less Philadelphia Flyers. But no notifications yet on where he's been traded to. Raptors hope to continue climbing up the Eastern Conference standings tonight when they host the LA Lakers. The Raps are riding a 5-game win streak that included a 114-103 win over LeBron. Toronto tied with Cleveland for 6th in the East. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. For the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. The Moose is loose. He's back on the stage. And my bad, the viewer wanted to know what the long shot odds are, so I apologize, John Ohm in Winnipeg. We immediately jumped to the favorites with Andy, and he said the Titans. So you're okay with that?
I'm okay with that. You know, they're not one of the. I mean, I think they're a contender. I think they're poised to take that next step and really be a contender. They've been, into the playoffs and had success. I wouldn't. They maybe be a dark horse, because they're not Tom Brady, they're not Patrick Mahomes. We're not talking about the Chargers or the Rams or the Bills. The Titans kind of get lost in that conversation. So maybe a dark horse. Looking at long odds, I mean, I don't think all the moves that Jacksonville made are going to have them have that much of an increase with Christian Kirk and shoring up their, offensive line. They're going to get Aiden Hutchinson with the first pick on the defensive line. And, Trevor Lawrence will take a step forward. I think they'll be better, but not Super Bowl. Cincinnati's not going to catch anybody by surprise. You want to maybe talk long shots. Maybe it's Miami, but they're now going to go through a new coach.
You know what's interesting about that, by the way?
Yeah.
It's a very good point by John Ohm to ask that, because I'm sitting here thinking most top 5s, top 10s in the NFL last year had the Rams all year long and they won it. Right. But what if the Bengals didn't get called for 3 consecutive pass interference penalties in the final 2 minutes, and the Bengals won.
I know.
Who would have had the Bengals in Vegas as a long shot last year? So it's not a completely out of line.
No, it's not.
Thought.
Not at all. You know, Denver's not going to catch anybody by surprise now that they have Russell Wilson. That's a great question. Who's going to come out of nowhere and surprise people? New England's not going to surprise anybody. They've now seemed to have built a new identity now, right? And they're good.
Bengals wouldn't be considered a long shot. Joe Burrow's a star now, right? Do you think they'd be a long shot still?
No. You want to maybe talk of a long shot. If Justin Fields can have a really good offseason, maybe the Bears surprise people. It's got to be somebody that comes off the board where your first thought would be like, you are crazy, right? But they've got a quarterback that if he comes in and plays well.
And I'll say the Dallas Cowboys.
And maybe Washington off the board. If Carson Wentz, this is his last chance, maybe Washington might be worth your money with McLaurin, and they've got some good weapons. And I love Ron Rivera as a coach. Maybe the Commanders.
Riverboat Ron. They got a quarterback now. By the way, this is sort of give the CFL a break week here, because I see they're raging on Facebook on my page about my own personal, not the show's, about Randy Ambrosi dropping the Touchdown Atlantic news last night during Randy's road trip. I think you're done, Moose. So hang on, don't go anywhere. Mike in Toronto says, where in Halifax is Touchdown Atlantic going to be played? I know they need to play in the Target City and not 2 hours away. People are upset. There's been no official announcement from the CFL that Randy just dropped it on Randy's road trip. Well, you can't control everything. I'm sure the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't like it getting out that Tom Brady had signed with them, right? That these things happen. I think our next guests are logged in, so I'm going to give you just to speak because they can still hear you. Any last words on Grey Eagle on this stint, with the reminder, the caveat, if you will, the footnote that we'll be back here in a few weeks' time.
The stage bar has been awesome. I want to thank everybody who helped make this possible. Sheldon, Brandon, Corey, everybody. It's been awesome. And then, you know, everybody who's come down, I think, is one of the coolest parts, is everybody who's come down and watched us live and be able to interact. I love you for coming down, and I hope you'll come back in April.
There you go. He said it. Ryan in New York says the longest shots for the Super Bowl, Jets and Houston tied, then the Detroit Lions, then Chicago, Carolina, Jacksonville, and the Giants. So just pick the bad teams. Look at the standings. Special guests from I Mum So Hard, Jen and Kristin next. This is going to be fun. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network across Canada and 31 U.S. states. Live daily on YouTube and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time. and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
11 throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, one final time for this stint from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. I'm not lying. It has been our home. Look at the beautiful Satina Nation in the background there, the Rocky Mountains. That's my view every morning. I've loved it. We are working on our next guest. Login issues, Clark tells me, so they'll be with us in a hot minute. Kristin Headley and Jen Smedley from I Mum So Hard. Their popular show coming here Saturday, April 2nd. You're good. I got so much stuff to go through. Moose has just popped onto the stage to help me. Thank you. Very nice of you to do that, but as we get them logged in, let me tell you about this show, and then I'll sashay over to viewer comments in a second for taco time. Their all-new getaway tour, Jen and Kristin, comes to the Grey Eagle Event Center Saturday, April 2nd. It's called imumsohard.com. You can get tickets there. Hashtag imumsohard began as a popular web series by real-life best friends, comedians, and moms, Kristin and Jen, who ironically are both from Nebraska but didn't meet until they got to Los Angeles. They have amassed a huge following in just a few short years with over 2.2 million followers. Their web series has over 300 million views, and they host a weekly podcast and recently wrote a book, The Meanest of Meanies, a book about love. A book that you can read to your kids and that moms enjoy reading to their kids. Their first book was a New York Times bestseller. So they're coming here on Saturday, April the 2nd. And I can hear Clark in my ear. They're having some login issues with them from wherever they may be. So I'm just going to read a couple of comments from our viewers here. Phil is watching in Dauphin, Manitoba on Game Plus TV regarding the earlier topic of 3 downs versus 4 downs. He says, I'm not going to lie, I was against changing the 3-down system, but after watching the lack of fans from this past season, and yes, I know there was capacity limits, but even before this pandemic stuff, there was half-filled stadiums. Perhaps this sparks more interest and brings more fans again. Love the CFL. Is it June yet? Hashtag Go Bombers. Hashtag Bob's your uncle. Glenn with 2 N's texting in on the 902 line. He says getting CFL games on YTV is one step. Maybe getting the CFL to promote and sponsor touch football is another. He goes on to say God's team is going to get their ass kicked tomorrow in Moose Jaw. Go Warriors, go. Yeah, but we got Connor Bedard, God's child, on our side. We'll make you a bet at taco time. What do you say, Glenn? Okay, Clark tells me that we got Kristin and Jen ready from the I Mum So Hard show coming to Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, the event center, Saturday, April 2nd. There they are. They're together. How you doing, ladies?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. I love these entertainment interviews. Where are you gals joining us from today, by the way? Where are you at?
We are sitting very close to each other in my office, which I cleaned just enough that you can't see the mess, but it is literally surrounding us in the front.
Are you in Los Angeles then?
We're in Los Angeles, yes.
Okay, well, we have put away the snow here in Calgary. We're ready for you guys to come up here in just a few weeks' time, Saturday, April the 2nd. I mum so hard. Everybody's talking about it up here, but not everybody knows about it. What are the folks going to see when they come to the event center on April 2nd?
Well, we've been doing these web videos for the last almost 6 years now, and they just sort of took off, talking about motherhood and womanhood and our friendship. And we both started off doing comedy, and we thought, well, this motherhood thing's really going to kill our career. And then it sort of helped it. So we have this 2-person stand-up show. It's multimedia. We even sing a little song in it, and somebody plays guitar. And it's an hour and a half of a really monster truck rally for moms and women is basically what it is. You're going to get crazy and laugh a lot.
Oh, my gosh. Monster truck rally for moms. Are you guys writing that down? So let me guess. Is there some audience engagement there, too? Do you pick on people? Do you take questions from the crowd? To tell me about that. What are some of your funniest moments on this tour with going back and forth with the crowd?
It's funny you say that because literally just 2 shows ago, we were in Orlando and there was a gentleman. There's always a husband front and center, which we find hilarious. And then we just give him a hard time, but it's all in good spirits. And we were giving this guy a hard time, and he was such a good sport. Turns out he was on his 2nd date with this woman. This woman brought him to an I Mom So Hard show for a date. He was literally one of 1,000 women, and it made us laugh so hard. And we were like, man, if you don't marry this guy, you're a fool. He's such a good time, and he was such a good sport. So,
and now he's a big fan.
And we have such a good time with the audience. We feel like we're just at a giant party, and all we do is talk to everybody, have a good time, and just try to get to the spirit of laughter.
Well, this sounds like an amazing show. Again, Saturday, April 2nd here at Grey Eagle Event Center. And that's the thing, those live events give you the best content for your show. Now, they say that being a stand-up comic is the toughest profession that there is. And I believe it. I honestly do. So you guys were doing that in Nebraska, came to LA to do it and hooked up. Like, how did this come together?
Well, we are both from Nebraska, which is not the biggest place. And we were both living in Lincoln, Nebraska, also not a big place. We were both studying the same thing, but Jen went to a fancy school and I went to the University of Nebraska. And then didn't know each other then. And we moved out to LA at different times. And I went to a comedy show and Jen was in the show and she was, of course, super, super funny. And we were having beers in the parking lot after, which is just something you do. And nobody can tailgate like 2 girls from Nebraska. And we were hanging out. We figured out we were both from the same place and just very quickly became fast friends. It was like meeting a family member you didn't know about, which is a weird way to explain it. But, they're out there. So we just started hanging out as friends, started to do comedy together, always made each other laugh a ton, and then bring in motherhood. And we were like, oh, my God. This is the hardest job. Stand-up comedy is easy compared to motherhood. You've never played a harder audience than an 8-year-old. So we found so much support with each other. We were like, let's do this thing that feels like we're talking our language and we're not trying to inspire anybody and we're not trying to scare anybody. We're just trying to make each other laugh. And it worked. It worked.
You're making me laugh, which I got this. Like, listen. We just had Bianca Del Rio through here, the queen of raunch, and the place was jammed. Yeah. There wasn't one empty seat. And it's just they want to get out. They want to laugh. They want to get together. It was the perfect night. That's a different demographic than you. Now, there was a lot of females in the crowd that night, too, but monster truck rally for moms. I'm digging it. I'm getting it. And that's what you guys want, right? Come on out and just have fun and have a laugh. That's what we're talking about here?
Tell you that my mother would tell you I'm raunchy. My mom is like, this show is so funny, but Kristin really talks about her lady parts a lot. Kristin cusses a lot.
Well, the other thing is you two seem to have you got the brunette, you got the blonde, you kind of got a salt and pepper thing going. Like, Jen, is that The yin to the yang? Or are you guys the same type of person? When did you... What?
The dance.
Well, when did you...
Oh, I'm referencing we have gray hair.
Not old. Yeah, not...
Oh, got it. Got it.
Maybe yin yang is better. Yeah, exactly. But when did you guys realize that... We got 90 seconds, they tell me. When did you guys realize that this could be a thing, the two of us?
Well, we did our first video, and like Kristin she's loud, she's fun, she's the friend who says all the stuff, and I'm like the little bit quieter craft kind of person. So like between the two of us, we sort of cover like
all the
gamut of women. And we were doing our first video and I forgot my daughter's name. She was 7 months old.
I've never laughed harder. We put that on the internet. Everybody laughed just as hard and we thought, oh, this is something.
We find that women really like it when you're showing them like your fails as opposed to like all of your perfect Instagram photos.
Yeah.
So that's the world we live in.
Yeah. And it kind of took off from the very beginning. We were like, why are there 10,000 likes on this video? This is more than my birth announcement. Like, why? We don't know any of the. And then we were like, oh, it's reached out. It's like kind of spread. So now we're doing a tour and we love it. It's our third national tour, all new show.
Well, congratulations, gals, on the success so far. See you here April 2nd. Thanks for coming on today. Safe travels when you get here and the continued success.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be there. See everybody there.
You bet. The girls from the I'm Mum So Hard tour coming to the Grey Eagle Event Center Saturday, April the 2nd. Kristin Headley and Jen Smedley. We'll talk to you Monday. Thank you, Grey Eagle. We'll see you in a few weeks. We'll see you Monday, noon Eastern on Game Plus. That's the secret sauce.
How about that? Right on. I like it.